Okay, as everybody can see, the topic of my class is the beauty of essential oils. And then also, just a little story about doTERRA. Now, not everybody, knows some of these things about doTERRA. And so I thought that it might be a good idea to just kind of, throw in a few things. I also have some things at the very end. They're just kind of like practical, helpful things as we're going into our on the doTERRA website. We're going into our account and into our cart, because these were things I know that I struggled with at first, and I made lots of mistakes in the beginning. So I kind of want to help people, before mistakes are made, to get the very most out of your doTERRA account. So most everybody on here has either got their own account or are using essential oils on their own. And most people that are on here have placed several orders. So a lot of these things, they already got worked out, but that's going to be for the end of class. Right now, I would like to just talk just a little bit about doTERRA and the company. Okay. So it was founded in 2008. And it was built on the mission of sharing the highest quality essential oils, not just essential oils, but the very highest quality, which is the thing that I really love about doTERRA. It's the thing that makes me purchase from them and nobody else, because I know the quality that I'm getting. All right. So having seen for themselves the benefits. So the founding executives, or the founding folks, whatever you want to call them, of doTERRA, they were already working with an essential oil company. They were already working with essential oils, right? So they already knew of the benefits, okay? And so what happened is they saw a lot of bad practices. They saw some corruption. They saw things that they didn't like. So what they did was they formed a company with the idea of bringing the highest quality essential oils to people without corruption, without adulteration of the oils. And so they started a company. They called it doTERRA, which is a Latin just meaning the gift of the earth. So that's what doTERRA means, the gift of the earth, which in actuality, all of these oils are coming from the earth. They are things that God has given to us. We just had to learn how to go ahead and harvest and distill, and what oils are good for what. But doTERRA is just doTERRA leads this whole industry in the way that they bring these oils to us. So doTERRA founders, they were committed to providing only the highest quality, like I say, and purest essential oils. So we can know for sure because of what we see them doing. We can see their testing practices. We can see their harvesting. We can see the distillation. All of these things are going to be found on your website. So everybody who's purchased an enrollment kit, everyone who's a doTERRA wholesale customer, you have a website to where there are so many resources that you can actually go in there and extract some of these, just some of the information. And I absolutely love it. There's ebooks and there's a blog and there's all kinds of just really helpful information for each and every one of us. So, okay, so doTERRA's got, and this is a term that might be new for some people. Did you ever hear the term CPTG? Okay, Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. Now, they changed the therapeutic now to tested. Okay, these oils are not just therapeutic, they are tested, and some are actually now being able to be labeled pharmaceutical grade. So now it's one step above. This CPTG label was literally a standard that was created by doTERRA. No other essential oil company out there in the world has the same standing as doTERRA. That's why doTERRA's oils are being used in teaching hospitals. They're literally going through all kinds of trials for many different things. They're using doTERRA because of this standard that doTERRA has created. Okay, doTERRA was not made to create this standard. They wanted to create this standard, which is the reason why I love doTERRA, is because of this standard. All right. So question, why not just buy from Amazon, right? So if you were to go and get a bottle of frankincense, let's say, okay? So this bottle of frankincense cost me, probably about $70 for this bottle of frankincense. It lasts me a long time because there's 250 drops in here. An average dose is about 3 drops, depending on what you're using it for. But you can buy this a lot cheaper on Amazon. So why not buy it on Amazon? Okay. Like here, like take for instance, here we've got a 6-pack of 10 mLs. Okay. Now this is a 15 ml. So those are a little bit smaller than this, but for the point, let's just say you get 6 of them for $12.29. Okay. Now, one of the things that these oils that you are finding, whether it's at the health food stores, whether it's on Amazon, whether it's at the grocery stores, you're going to find a label on there saying external use only. On doTERRA's bottle, you're going to say supplement facts. Okay. In other words, these are not only safe for internal use, they are recommended for internal use. So why is it that you can have, let's just say, a bottle of lemon, okay, just for the sake of our discussion here. Let's say you get a bottle of lemon from Amazon and it says for external use only, okay? Now, I question that because I can cut up a lemon and I can eat it from top to bottom if I wanted to. There's nothing poison in that lemon. But yet, you buy a bottle of lemon oil and they say not for internal use, external use only. There's a reason that they have to label it external use only, is because it's not just lemon oil. They are cutting it with synthetic ingredients that are rendering it only safe for external use. So you see what I'm saying? That's why it's cheaper, because they're putting things in there that you don't want to put in your body. I would rather use something that I can put in my body. And yes, you're gonna pay a little bit extra for it, but it's gonna do the job, right? So here's a review this is an oil that's called Breathe out on Amazon. Now I've got a bottle of Breathe right here, and let me tell you something. If you've got a bottle of Breathe and you've got a stuffy nose, I've been actually using a Breathe stick. I've been using, this is a Breathe stick. I make it up on my own. I've been using it all week long because I just had a stuffy nose. And let me tell you something, this Breathe is powerful. Here's a review from a cheap Amazon brand. It says, the Breathe oil is great, but very weak. I had to use more drops than usual. The sleep blend smells like an orange. It made me nauseated and I had to clean out my diffuser. I'm not sure about other oils, but I'm very disappointed with this product. And here you get what you pay for. This is a typical, how many times have you bought something, maybe an off-brand something or something that you don't know, and you're disappointed with your purchase, right? When you buy doTERRA's oils, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. They are pure, they are safe, and they have not been adulterated with any other oil or product, be it synthetic or not. And so you know exactly what's in there. You buy a bottle of frankincense, the only thing that's in here, let me see, it actually says for internal use, 1 drop in 4 fluid ounces of liquid. And here it goes, it says, actually has aromatic directions. Let's see. It says pure essential oil from Boswellia carteri. Now, Boswellia carteri is, there's a few different frankincense trees. Some of them are from Somaliland. Some of them are in Ethiopia. They're in different places. And so the trees they're called different things. But this particular frankincense tree, it's Boswellia carteri. Now, another really interesting thing is that there's a QR code. I don't know if you can see it. You can actually hold your phone up to that QR code. And if anybody has a bottle of oil, just go ahead and try this really quick. Okay, try it with me. I'm actually doing it right now. You can scan the QR code, and that QR code is going to tell you, let me see if I can get this. Okay, let me get it. Okay, I'm going to have to try it another time, but you can scan. I can't take all the time to scan that, but you can try that. Scan the QR code. You can get all the information from what's in that bottle. You know what's in that bottle. You know where it's been harvested. Literally, we can trace our bottles of oil to the field, to the farmer, to the harvester, to the distiller. It's really, really interesting. All right, so essential oils made easy. Okay, I think that's really, really important, is that we don't want to be, all bogged down with what do I use this for? How do I use it? All of those things. Just understand that on each bottle of oil, it's going to tell you whether it's for internal use or not. There are some oils, such as the Breathe. This oil specifically states that it is not to be used internally. Now, why would it not be used internally? Not because of synthetics, but because there are some essential oils that are not supposed to be taken internally. And that's exactly what's going on with this Breathe blend. Okay. There are some oils in here that are not supposed to be taken internally. So always remember, before you use your oils, read the labels. Are they for internal use or are they not? All right. So just very, very important. But most of doTERRA's oils, most of them are safe for internal use. All right. So not only are they safe, they don't have the side effects, right? You know that these products are literally just extracts of plants, right? We use herbs all the time. There are literally herbalists. There are people that they see patients and they dole out herbs for this, that, or the other thing. And they're very, very effective. Right? So these oils are literally just that. They are extracted from what God has given to us. And I think that's actually a beautiful thing. They are also very effective. Okay. Now, how are they effective? Well, this is probably one of the funnest things for me to talk about. And I know I kind of get a little nerdy here on people, but I like to talk about the biology, the physiology. I like to talk about how they are working, how they are interacting with who we are. It's because they work at a cellular level. How do they work at a cellular level? Well, because they are oil, they're lipid. Unlike water-based products, unlike antibiotics, these oils have the ability to pass through the cell membrane. They need no active transport. What is active transport? Active transport is like when you're knocking at the door, knock, knock, knock. Somebody comes to your door and they're knocking. You look at the peephole and you have the choice. Am I going to open the door for them or am I not? With lipid, it's as though it's your kids, right? Your kids don't knock, right? They just walk on in, right? Because they know that they belong there. These essential oils are different than medications, water-based things that need permission to enter into the cell. Essential oils do not need that permission. They just come right on in. So it's actually very, very neat. And I can talk a lot about that. It's a very interesting thing. Not only do they permeate the membrane, but they also are one of only few things that can actually pass through the blood-brain barrier. That's why an oil like frankincense, for things like stress, anxiety, depression, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, there's studies that are being done right now. And some of them are actually showing, use this for Alzheimer's, use this for dementia. Literally a drop of frankincense on the crown of your head every morning. Anyway, there are so many studies that are being done with frankincense. Unbelievable. Oh, another thing, is this is literally anti-neoplastic. What does that mean? A neoplasm is a new growth. What is a new growth? Well, new growths are where cancer comes from. These are anti-neoplastic. They will literally cause our cells kill themselves all the time. If it's not a good cell, these will literally stimulate apoptosis. I'm talking about frankincense. Stimulates the cell to destroy itself if there is something wrong with it. So that's a good thing, right? We don't want neoplasms growing in our body. We don't want cancers happening to us. Frankincense, taking internally, is a very big tool that we can have if we want to keep these things from cropping up into our body. There is not a day that goes by that frankincense is not in my body. Not on my body. I put it on my body too, but it's in my body. Very, very important. All right. Now, essential oils are also affordable. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. I live on a very, very tight budget. The essential oils are something that I bring into my life monthly, okay? So in other words, what I had 5 years ago, I've got like 10 times that amount now because I just do it little by little by little. They're affordable. When you figure 250 drops in each bottle, it lasts you a long time. This frankincense bottle, it's probably going on about a year that I've opened this. So, you figure a year, go to the pharmacy and look at the costs of your medications, right? They're pretty expensive. A lot of them are very expensive. So essential oils, they're natural, they're safe, they're effective, they're affordable. Literally pennies per dose. All righty. So the 3 ways that we use them, we had talked about that. Aromatic, which literally you can just open up your bottle and just breathe it in that. I mean, breathing this in literally just opened up my nose and I felt it in my lungs as well. It opens you up. Breathe, right? Just as the name states, right? Breathe. You could just sniff it right from the bottle. Or another way, aromatic use, is you take a drop, you put it on your hand, you rub your palms together, and then inhale. This is a very effective way. As a matter of fact, if you have a headache or something like this, this is the best way to relieve all of the tension. You want to dilate those vessels in your brain because that's really what causes a headache. Is the vessels get tight and constricted. We want to open them up and loosen them. Essential oils do that. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine, she called a couple of days ago. She needs frankincense, and apparently she couldn't wait until she placed her order because she uses frankincense for migraines. She gets migraines from this particular medication that she has to take for a condition that she deals with, and she said frankincense is really the only thing that will help to relieve the migraines. Very, very interesting. Because I could see how that frankincense, I used to get migraines years ago before I started with essential oils. I had migraines like nobody's business. I mean, I used to get them. I'd be in the bed all day long. The only time that I could get out of the bed was to go and throw up, and then I'd go back to the bed, right? All day long. And then the next day was usually what I called my migraine hangover, because the next day I was just kind of like, like in a daze. It's incredible the processes that happen when you get a migraine. And unless you've ever dealt with migraines, you really cannot relate. I am so sure of that because I know I could never relate to people who had back pain until I had back pain, right? Which I don't really suffer from back pain, but because of I had a blood clot in my lungs. And so I'm kind of dealing with some back pain, on the daily as a result of that. I'm hoping that it's going to go away as the clot dissolves and, the tissue heals back up. But anyway, my whole point, though, is that we relate when we've dealt with it, right? If you've never dealt with a migraine, you just cannot relate. So fellow migraine sufferers, we're looking for anything, right? thing that can help to relieve that pain, because it is not good. It is not fun. Am I right? I know that anybody out there who's got migraines is nodding their head in agreement. All right. Now, the next way that we use the oils, as we've talked about plenty of times, is topically. Okay. Now, just a question. I think everybody probably knows the answer. What is the largest organ in your body? Your skin. Your skin is an organ, and your skin has got one of the toughest jobs ever. It's dealing with environmental stressors all day long. Viruses, bacteria, radiation from the sun, yeast, molds, fungus. It is dealing constantly with threats that are trying to get into our body, right? And so our skin is allowing things in and is not allowing things in. It's extreme, even though it's soft and pliable and all of that. When you learn about the layers of your dermis, and you see what's there, the stratified squamous cells and all that, there are reasons why there's layer after layer after layer after layer. It is so important for us to take care of this organ that literally is keeping invaders out 24/7. It helps to regulate our temperature. There are so many things, blood pressure. There are so many things that our skin is good for. It must be maintained. It must be taken care of, right? Now, when you introduce essential oils onto your skin, if I were to put a drop of this, which I'll go ahead and do it. Matter of fact, this is going to be great. Frankincense right over top of Breathe. Oh, that smells just wonderful. Again, I feel it all in my head. It's just, it settles everything down. It's amazing how fast this works. But now if you were to look at I could literally open up a bottle. I could unscrew. There is no oily residue at all on my hands. Even though this is an oil, it absorbs into my skin so fast. Why is that? Because my skin is welcoming it. Because it's good for you. Your skin is alive. Because remember, our bodies are literally where our skin in particular it's like a sentry. It is maintaining and monitoring what's going in as well as what's going out. Because a lot of waste products actually gets expelled through our skin. Now, I say that to bring us into another topic, and that would be your lymphatic system. Many of us either used to or still do use things such as antiperspirant. Okay. Most deodorants on the shelves on the market are antiperspirant. Now, especially down here in the South, it's a much bigger deal because there's a lot of sweating going on here in the South, right? We live in Sweat City, right? The sweaty South. That's pretty good, actually, right? Sweaty South, which is true, right? It's very humid down here. We sweat. I mean, you just walk out and get your mail and you're, sweating bullets, right? Coming back in. So a lot of times what people use because they don't like to sweat is something called antiperspirant. That is terrible for you. Terrible. Because it's keeping your skin, it's keeping your lymphatic system from doing its job. Okay. We are actually getting rid of a lot of the bad stuff, the waste stuff, right? We are getting rid of it through that whole system. And our skin is allowing it. And it's maintained by the lymphatic, which is a vessel system. And then, of course, the skin is what's allowing it to get. That's why you sweat. That's why it's actually good to sweat. But I know, and I was one of them, who regularly used antiperspirant. Now, deodorant is fine. If it's just deodorant, that's fine. But when it says antiperspirant and deodorant, which is most of them that's on the market, it's antiperspirant and deodorant. What I would like to challenge you to do is to just leave that antiperspirant away and start using some essential oils. And I'm not saying just any one of them. Okay. Like I would never tell somebody to put Deep Blue under their arms. That's not going to be very comfortable. Right. But something like something such as frankincense, something there, and there's a lot of them actually. And we can talk about some of the different ones that we could use. Ylang ylang. That when you do sweat, what it does is it activates, and that's the smell of the oil is what you're smelling. You are going to still sweat. Okay. But one of the things that I have found is when I stopped using antiperspirant, little by little, I don't sweat nearly as much. Now, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just saying that this is what I do. And that's why I just wanted to kind of insert that, because what we do, our health, we maintain our health usually gradually in little steps, right? Because from birth, we were taught how to be unhealthy. Let's face it. If your parents ever took you to McDonald's, you were being taught to be unhealthy. If your parents ever fed you, or if you ever feed your kids fruit snacks or cookies or cake or ice cream, you're being taught to be unhealthy. Our society teaches us more how to be unhealthy than to be healthy. It's just the way it goes. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to kind of just kind of back out of some of that, right? And we're trying to establish some healthy habits. And it's a little by little gradual process. All right. So I know I've been spending a lot of time on this slide, and I'm just going to go ahead and advance internal. We kind of talked a little bit about internal. Internal is probably one of my favorite ways. I want to get that stuff in my body because I'm kind of lazy sometimes. I don't, because the aromatic, oftentimes you have to put blends together, like you might put frankincense and wild orange to help you to fall asleep at night. Or you might use marjoram and lavender to help you to fall asleep. Sometimes I like to just, pop some oils in a veggie cap, or just, take a doTERRA, LLV or Mito 2 Max or something like that, and just pop that in. And it's kind of a quick way to do it. But internal use of essential oils is very, very beneficial for our bodies. So anyway, enough time on that. This is, I'm not going to spend really any time on this. This is just the health and wellness pyramid. We've all kind of seen this at different times. What's the most important thing? Well, we know it's what we put into our bodies. That's the most important thing, right? How many times have we told our kids or been told by our parents, you are what you eat, right? Very, very true. We know we need to get exercise. We know we need to get fresh air. We know we need to get rest. But then we also have to do things that are proactive. What do I mean by that? Proactive could be through our supplements. Proactive could be through our herbs. Proactive could be through the essential oils. Okay, so very, very important that we've got these things and they're all in their proper places, right? Like I could take essential oils all day long and eat donuts and cookies all day long. Am I going to be healthy? Right? Am I going to be healthy? So anyway, so we've got to do what we can at the very basic levels, and then we move up to proactive healthcare from there. Now, top 10 essential oils. This is the list. I'm going to go through each one of these 10 because these are the oils that if we want to be knowledgeable on essential oils, these are the 10 that you want to be really knowledgeable on. Okay. Because if somebody were to ask you a question like, hey, what do I do for oily skin? Or what do I do for dandruff? Or what do I do for a headache or for shoulder pain? What do I do to keep my immune system strong? Wintertime's coming up. What do I do for let's say I have acne. What do I do for these things, right? What do I do to help myself sleep? Or maybe somebody that I know, right? These oils here are going to be the oils that are going to be the first ones. This is like your first line of defense. If you have these 10 oils in your home, you can battle almost anything that comes your way, whether it's high blood pressure, whether it's migraines, whether it's acne, you can battle these things. Now, obviously, I have way more than those 10, and probably a lot of the people that's on the Zoom has way more than those 10, but those are 10 to start with. All right, so here's oregano. Oregano is probably one of my least used oils, and I hate to admit that. Why? Because oregano is so important. It's so good for so many things. There's something about the smell that I have a hard time. Some people might love smelling like a pizza pie. This is an oil that's very, very good to put on the bottom of your feet at the end of the day. Put some socks on. It will boost your immune system. Okay. Now, my daughter, one of my daughters, whenever she feels like she's getting sick, she'll oftentimes, come over and she'll say, Mom, I need a flu balm. And oregano is one of the oils that I put in that flu balm. Okay. Because it is powerful. It kills bacteria. It kills viruses. It kills mold. It kills fungus. It is a very powerful oil. It will actually even help to take away warts if you have a wart, a skin tag. There are so many benefits to this oil. I just have this thing about the smell. And not that I don't use oregano, I just don't use it nearly as much. Now, Melaleuca. This is perhaps one of my favorite. Melaleuca, we know doTERRA no longer sells the oil with the name Melaleuca. It's called tea tree. Why is it called tea tree? And why is it now that Melaleuca always said that we could take it internally, and now all of a sudden tea tree, we cannot take it internally? It's because it's from a different part of the plant that they don't want you to ingest. Whether or not you actually can ingest it safely, that has yet to be determined. But because they don't know, they say not for internal use. I know plenty of people who take tea tree internally. I'm just saying, but I'm not going to recommend to take it internally because it has not yet been proven safe for internal use. Whereas Melaleuca, which was from a different part, was deemed safe to take internally. Okay. But this oil is very, very good for skin. It's very, very good for your immune system. You can put it on your skin. You can diffuse it in the air. And literally, it is also getting into your body. If you're diffusing tea tree, it's getting into your blood. Okay. I'm just saying. Why can I say that? How is it getting into our blood? These are some pretty big claims that I'm making, right? Well, it's because of the respiratory system. And if you understand anything about the respiratory system, what is going in, what you are breathing in, it goes into the alveoli, and right underneath or right around that alveoli, you've got your circulatory system running. And there's a gas exchange that happens, which is primarily for O2 and CO2, but there are other things that are also being exchanged. Okay. So if you're diffusing lavender, it has a way to reduce your blood pressure. Why? Because lavender is all things calming. Okay. So it relaxes your blood vessels. That's the whole reason why we have high blood pressure, is because the vessels are tight and constricted. We want to relax. A lot of people get high blood pressure if they're very, very tense, if they're stressed out about everything, right? I very much believe that just being busy does not mean that you have to be stressed out, right? Does not mean that you have to have high blood pressure. So you can learn to manage that stress that's happening in your life, maybe being so busy. You can manage that. Lavender is one way that will help you to manage it. And I know we were talking about tea tree, but we'll get to lavender here in just a minute. All right, On Guard. On Guard is, I'll tell you what, this has been just a Superman of oils these past couple of years. On Guard, you can practically not even keep it on the shelves. It is in such high demand. And as a matter of fact, On Guard is going to be the thing that I am giving away today. So anyway, On Guard, very, very good for seasonal threats. Smells good. It tastes good. It's just an incredible, incredible oil. Frankincense, we've already talked about frankincense. Just very, very good. Very, very good for our skin, by the way. I put it on my skin every day. It's very, very good for wrinkles. Very, very good for scars. Lemon smells wonderful. Very good to clean with it. If you've got one of those nasty little stickers that you can't get off, oh my goodness, 1 drop of lemon, and it will make short work of any kind of gummy, gluey sticker. So very, very good. But it's also good to wake you up, especially like if you use this with peppermint, woo, it will wake you up. Very good if you've got like a sore throat, maybe a little bit of tea tree, peppermint with it, because peppermint is known to help with the pain. Lemon, we talked about lemon, all things calming, relaxes anything. If you've got a rash, if you have a bug bite, if you need help going to sleep, this oil can be used topically, can be used internally, and can also be diffused. We talked a little bit about peppermint, very, very good for digestion. Very good for digestion. My daughter uses peppermint all the time for digestion. She absolutely loves this oil. She's got IBS, and so she's always dealing with things with her digestive system. Breathe, we talked a lot about breathe, so I'm not going to take the time. Digest Zen. Now, if you are a person that deals with cramping and bloating and gas, if you're a person that doesn't eat right and constantly has issues with your stomach, this is the oil for you, because boy, does it work. One day, me and a friend of mine, we had eaten out. We came back home and we were just like, oh my goodness, our stomachs were just, must have been what we were eating or whatever. We were getting ready to go to Bible class, and we certainly didn't want to go to Bible class, all gassy and bloaty. So I tried it, I gave it to her, and my goodness, does it work. It works very fast, within seconds. You literally put 3 drops in your hand, rub it over your stomach in the area where it's bothering you, and it works like that. It's a wonderful, wonderful product. That is also sold in veggie caps and soft gels as well. Deep Blue, we kind of talked about Deep Blue. This is something that's very, very good for muscle pain. I use it like if I ever were to get, which I don't get them at all. I can't remember the last time I got a migraine or a headache, but rubbing it on your neck, because a lot of times headaches are as a result of, just tight muscles in your neck and in your shoulders. I use Deep Blue even if I don't need it, because I love it so much. Who was it? Linda was talking about, the happy pills before class. This is my happy cream. I feel so good after rubbing this on my neck and on my shoulders after I get out of the shower. Oh my God, it makes me feel so good. It makes me feel like I'm just like I can leap tall buildings in a single bound. I love Deep Blue. All right, so I have this slide just to show people. These are the places where doTERRA harvests their oils all around the world. Is this sustainable or what? Right? And not only does doTERRA do this all around the world, doTERRA gives back to these places incredibly. And here's a slide that'll give you just an idea. It's called co-impact sourcing. Okay, we're being impacted from what we're getting, and we're impacting them as well. So Haiti, it's no secret that Haiti is the poorest nation in the world. Okay, so what has doTERRA done for this poor country? We have been benefited from this beautiful oil called vetiver. And if you've never tried it, if you know anybody that suffers from insomnia, this is an oil that you want. If you know anybody who suffers from autism or Asperger's or any neurological type, vetiver is an oil that you need to have. But in return for vetiver, which is almost, it's so thick. It's almost like a syrup. It's so thick, probably one of the thickest oils. But in return, doTERRA gives back. doTERRA has dug wells and brought water to these villages. They have built clinics and schools, all types of projects that doTERRA has done for this poor nation to help them out. When they were hit by the earthquake, doTERRA is right there to help them out. It's incredible the response that doTERRA has to these wonderful folks who harvest, who distill. And not only that, doTERRA also pays for the harvesting and for the distillation and all of these things. So they are benefited. They are impacted in so many ways. Literally, vetiver to them was like a weed. They didn't even care about it. They would kick it around. The only thing that we even need from the vetiver plant is the root. The root is what is necessary. And that's what this man here actually has. All of what you see is the root. So they've got to dig up the roots, then they've got to beat out the dirt, and then it's ready for to be distilled. So here's just a few little ways that we can join doTERRA and become a wholesale customer. Is you can purchase a kit. Okay, this is the kit that I purchased. This has got those 10 oils that I just talked about, plus a diffuser. So basically, this gives you a fast forward into your home that you can take care of whatever situation might come your way. Or there are plenty of people that just like to purchase a la carte. One here, one there, right? Now, there's 3 slides that I put together. I just kind of wanted to show everybody when you go into your account. Okay, so I just logged into my account here, and this is what shows immediately, right? After you've logged in. Okay, so see how it says your loyalty orders, and then it says edit order. I put the yellow arrow to signify edit order. That is always the way that you will place an order. If you have an LRP cart set up, this is how you make your purchase. You edit your order. Excuse me, you go in there, you either take out, you add whatever you want, and then you process it as an LRP order. If you do not have an LRP cart, there's going to be a button right in place of edit order. It's going to say create an LRP cart. That's what you do. You create a cart. It doesn't necessarily matter what the date you put in. Just know that every single month, on or before that date, you need to get in there and edit your order and process. And so what that does is that allows you to get points for your products. If you purchase 50 PV or more, you're getting points now. And what that is that's doTERRA's way of just rewarding you for your loyalty. That's why it's called loyalty rewards. Okay. So if there's any questions at all, you can ask me on that. Now, these are the reward points. So this is how many points I have in my cart. I'll probably let maybe after I place my November order, I'll have enough to where I want to go ahead and redeem my points. But my points add up so quickly because I'm at 30%. So you start at 10%. Then every 3 months, you move another 5% until you cap out at 30%. So if I make 100 PV order, I'm capturing 30% of that back in reward points. So that means if I place a $100 order, I get 30 points. So I can buy a 30 PV oil, which is probably about a breathe. So that would mean I would get this free every single month. A bottle of Breathe or something comparable to Breathe. So it's just a very, very nice way of getting back. If you're into this, into this lifestyle of using essential oils and you want to learn and you want to get more oils and you're going to be making, regular purchases, just do that. And let's say there comes a month that it's like, well, I really don't have money, because you do have to place an order every month to be in the reward program. But let's say it's a month that it's like, I really don't have the money, which I could, even when I was poor, I would make sure I had enough money for my oils. But let's just say, just purchase you could purchase a hand sanitizer an On Guard hand sanitizer for like, I think it's like $6.50 or something, just to hold your cart, because you have to place an order every month if you want to be a part of the rewards. Otherwise, what happens is they cancel your cart, and then you lose any points that's in there. So anyway, you don't have to be in the rewards program. You could just, make your purchases as you want. But the rewards program is for those who are going to be making regular purchases. Now, when you do decide that you want to redeem your points, this is how you do it. You open up your cart, and I don't know if you could see, well, you see this, the yellow arrow where it says use points. Okay. Now the Madagascar vanilla at this time, they don't allow you to use the points. That's why it says NA. But for the Purify, that's what all of this is right here. So I could take my reward points, which is 113.93, and I could go ahead and purchase this one Purify. Okay, the PV on that is 20. So that's going to deduct that from my points. And then I could purchase other things, and I could use my points for that as well. Okay, but there must always be something in your cart that you are actually purchasing. Okay, so like in this case, I'm going to purchase the Madagascar vanilla. I can't use the points anyway for that because it's a brand new oil, and they're just not allowing it to be purchased with points at this time. So I could purchase the Madagascar vanilla and then get the Purify using my points. And then I could add other items to my cart. I can either use this little quick add box right here. And like if you knew the name, like I could type in lavender, and then it'll say lavender 15 ml, and I could drop that in my cart. I can use that for my points. So I can get anywhere up to this 113.93. But there's got to be one thing in my cart that I'm actually purchasing. And why is that? It's because these products, when you use your points, when you process this order, all of these products are going to drop out of your cart. There has to be something in your cart at all times. Otherwise, it's just like at the grocery store. If an associate sees an empty grocery cart, they're going to assume, they just did that to me the other day, actually. I walked away from my cart. I mean, literally, I was like, 10 steps away from it. But an associate, doing their job, there's like, oh, an empty cart. Let me just go put this away, right? So it's the same thing. If we have an empty cart, it's going to go away. So we're going to lose our points where there's, we don't want that to happen. So there always must be something in that cart at all times. So there always must be something that we actually purchase. Okay. I hope I explained that well enough, and I am done. I am going to stop my sharing, and I am going to